So I've been in a bit of a drought when it comes to my trading recently. I've been on a pretty good losing streak and I've done a lot of reflecting, and I've come to realize that these losses are such a small part of such a bigger journey. It's really hard to think long term when all you're doing is losing and it feels like there's no escape. Trading is a skill for life that nobody can take away from you, right? The losses I'm taking now and the losses that you also may be taking, it's all part of a bigger picture. To give an example, we have multiple different time frames, right? The 1 minute may be bearish, but the 4 hour may be telling a whole different story, right? It's all about looking through a wider lens and looking at the bigger picture. This is somewhat cliche of a quote, but comparison is the thief of joy. It's in our human nature to compare ourselves to other people. And I do this too. You guys can even see in the last TikTok I posted, I was saying there's 16-year-old millionaires making money off crypto trading. And that was me comparing myself to others because I'm not where I want to be in life. And they are way ahead of me. But that's a problem, right? We live in a society where money and fame are placed on such a high pedestal. And if you don't have that, you're thought of as to be less important or less valued, especially if you're a man. Looking up to people with desirable qualities is a good thing at face value. The problem comes when it takes over your mind and you're no longer proud of what you've done or what you've accomplished. The constant display of young millionaires, people buying penthouses or flexing Rolexes on TikTok, Instagram, it takes a toll on your psychology. You then begin to rush the process, all because you're trying to get rich quick. One thing that helped me break free from this mindset is to fall in love with the journey. Express gratitude for every moment along the way. I was listening to a podcast with Dr. Huberman and Dr. Jordan Peterson. And Dr. Jordan Peterson said something very insightful. He said that you get a dopamine hit when you reduce the level of entropy in relationship to a goal. Entropy means, in simple terms, the degree or uncertainty in a system. So what he's saying is you get a dopamine hit every time you make a step towards a goal because it reduces the level of uncertainty of achieving said goal. So we should be happy when we make even a small step towards our goal. We shouldn't suppress those feelings. If I were to snap my fingers and make you rich all of a sudden, you wouldn't appreciate it because you didn't work for it. There was no journey, there was no process to making the money. So in my eyes, we really should cherish those small wins, those small moments of maybe passing our first funded or getting our first payout. And we eventually make the money we want to make, right? We're gonna look back to those times when we were celebrating those small wins because the journey is always more fulfilling than the destination.